Hello and welcome to today's class. Today we'll be talking about the global population pattern. Now, what is this global population pattern? Global population pattern is nothing but the distribution of the population. It is that simple. The distribution of the population over the planet Earth. Make this simple statement. The statement is quite complicated. I would simply say that the global population pattern is nothing but the distribution or the analysis of the distribution of the population over the world. Now, over this we have made particular analysis. This analysis has been given in the point 123. I would like you to mark this point 123. The first point says that 75% of the global population is confined to less than 10% of the geographical area. Now consider this. This is our entire Earth. Now within this, it says that the entire population, it's amongst this total area, only 10% of this area consists of 75% of the population. Now basically, why are we saying this? Because remember that our urban areas are more densely populated than our rural areas. That could be one of the reasons. Number two, it says that more than nearly 30% of the geographical stretch represents to be absolutely uninhabited. Uninhabited means no one habits this areas, such as your polar areas, we have your desert areas, we have the tropical rainforest, etc. Next, above all, 60% of the total population is confined within 10 countries of the world. This is one of the major things. Which are these 10 countries? Let us look at them. We have the China, India, obviously. We have the USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Japan, Russia, Nigeria. Now, amongst these countries, Asia has the largest share of population and is also highest in the density distribution. So basically what we get is that amongst all these countries, we have the Asian nation or the Asian continent that not just has the largest share of the population but also has the highest density distribution. Again, we'll use the 2010 to 11 UN population table identifies that the average global population density to be 41% per square kilometer. See, this data you have to remember it. This is very essential. Again, we look into the distribution. It is in the continent of Asia, we have 108% per square kilometer. In Europe, we have 101% square kilometer. That forms the dense clustered continent. Whereas in Africa, we have 21% per square kilometer. Remember this. Next, we have the Latin America, which is having 20% per square kilometer. We have the Anglo America with 14% per square kilometer. And then we have the Oceania. This Oceania is nothing but your Australia and your New Zealand. And they have only 3% per square kilometer. Hence, representing the sparsely clustered continent. So within this, we have the Asia and the Europe, which are densely clustered. We have the Latin America, Anglo America, and the Oceania, which are sparsely clustered. Means they have the less density of the population. Now again, density distribution in the world population can be analyzed using by dividing the world, not by, sorry, I think I have misspoken over here. Analyzed by dividing the world into acumen and non-acumen areas or regions. Now, acumen spelling is E-C-C-U-M-E-N and non-acumen spelling is N-O-N-E-C-C-U-M-E-N. What are these acumen areas? See, basically, acumen means area that is highly favorable for the human occupancy. Simple. Non-acumen means simply area that are which are not favorable for the human occupancy. Hence, the acumen area which are favorable for the human occupancy obviously would have what? High density population. Similarly, non-acumen area which are not that dense, this non-acumen area will have low density population. Simple. Next, let's look into the acumen area. Now the acumen area, basically what happens here, the population is more than 100% per square kilometer. Now basically, even prior to beginning this, let me say that this notes you are not going to find over there in your Majid Hussain, but you can refer to Rupa Made Simple in case you want to move on for more detailed analysis of this. Now, acumen area, the population is more than 100% per square kilometer. This includes four well-defined regions: East Asia, which excludes the Siberia. Obviously, most of you would know that If this is the Russia, this large area is your Siberia. This part of the Russia is habitable. Then we have the China. Then we have the India, and it says that the extensive ecumen includes the East Asia, which excludes your Siberia, South Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. Now just consider this as the SAARC nations minus your Afghanistan, because Afghanistan comes under your Central Asia. Next, it's East Asia and the South Asia. They are called as the extensive ecumen. Why they are called as the extensive ecumen? Because of the dominance of the rural agrarian economy. See, in the rural region, what happens that though the population is more, but the population has a gap in the settlement. But such is not the case for the Anglo America and Western Europe. Obviously, what is Anglo America? Anglo America is none other than your Canada and USA. It is in this intensive ecumen that Anglo America and the Western Europe, they basically are called the intensive ecumen because of the industrial urban characteristics, because they are industrially developed and they have more level of urbanization. What now, how do we explain this? See, in urban areas, basically the population would be greater because people live in very congested areas, and that's the very reason that we call this as the intensive equipment. Which one? Anglo America and Western Europe. Next, we have the non-equipment. Non-equipment again is the basically the regions which are first of all not favorable, hence the population density is very less, that is 10% per square kilometer. Again, this non-equipment, you have read two types. One is the sporadic and is uninhabited. Uninhabited means the entire region where no one resides. Now, which are these uninhabited regions? Polar regions again we have your this tropical rainforest. Again we have your desert regions. Now, basically this entire diagram shows you which are the ecumen and the non-ecumen areas. See, the blue regions are your ecumen areas, including the South Asia, East Asia. We have over here Western Europe. We have over here your Anglo America. And the non-ecumen regions, look at this over here. If you can figure this out, this is basically your Atacama Desert. If you look into here, this is your Brazil rainforest. If you look into over here, this is your Sahara Desert. Again, we have the Namibia deserts. Again, we have your this is your West Asia, desert prone West Asia. Now these are some of the regions. Again, yes, last but not least, USA, Antarctica. Now these are the non-ecumen regions because they are less favorable for the survival of the human population. Now mark my words, I said less favorable for survival of human population. Nowhere I have said that the human population cannot survive, because even people survive in the deserts, even people survive in a tropical rainforest. We have the tribal peoples who are living in the tropical rainforest. So please do not get confused. Next, now within this I have given this red color, which is means sporadic equipment. What is the sporadic equipment? What I have explained you, that there are certain favorable conditions which are actually helping people to establish their settlement. Now Namibia, we have the Kalahari Desert over here. It's highly barren desert and it's very difficult to survive in this desert. But still then people survive in Namibia because they mine uranium over there. Similarly, Persian Gulf. Persian Gulf is also a very hot place to survive. But again, the Persian Gulf, we know that we find the petroleum, natural gas, which has been significant for the helping the people to generate income and survive. Similarly, we have the Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is nothing but in New Iran. The Mesopotamia region is completely in the Mesopotamia region. Basically, we find the Euphrates and the Tigris River, which helps in the agriculture purpose. And last but not least, we have the Java. Though the Java, basically we know that the Java, we have the tropical rainforest, but on the other hand, in the Java, what happens is that one thing that remains is that these regions are also having the fertile soils. Now let's look into the uninhabited zone. Basically, I had said you say polar desert region. Last but again, we'll look into the sporadic equipment. What is the sporadic equipment? Sporadic equipments are found within the non-equipment area. where conditions are favorable for the population, as I had explained in the particular diagram. For example, if you find a fertile soil, we had talked about your Mesopotamia, we have talked about your Java Island, we had talked about your Mekong Delta. Mekong Delta, basically I want you to find where is the Mekong Delta, but for the hint I am giving you, it is somewhere in the Southeast Asia. Next, mineral resources. For example, Kiruna. I again want you to find where Kiruna is. Again, I am giving you the hint that Kiruna basically we are finding in the Scandinavian islands, but where it's up to you. Again, Manaus, where we are finding where we find gold. That's AU is the symbol of gold. Namibia, basically I have said you where Namibia is. Next, we have the energy resources, energy resource areas such as your Persian Gulf. We have the Sakhalin Basin. Sakhalin Basin, again I want you to find where Sakhalin Basin is. Again I'm giving you the hint, it's in East Asia. Again we have the maritime links. Maritime link means we have the port of call. Let's look into the Honolulu and Singapore. See, both Singapore and Honolulu, they are not located in such a very great destination, but again what happens is that they have the particular maritime link that actually helps them to grow, basically Singapore, and that we call it as the port of call. Last but not the least is your administrative capital. Now Yemen, everybody knows that Yemen is nothing but in the West Asia. Now the capital of Yemen is Sana'a. Now Sana'a is being an administrative capital, we have the major cluster of population over there. Similarly, La Paz in Bolivia, that is the administrative capital of Bolivia. I want you to find this Lake Titicaca and its examples. Lake Titicaca over there in the map. Next, and last but not the least, rest of the world is included in the moderate equipment category. Thank you. That will be all for today's class.